Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining again. This is Jaimal Sarah online, otherwise Dr. Livestream. Today we are going to discuss about relaxation exercises and how it builds immunity and how the stress management is going to work out with a relaxation exercise. All right. So, coming to the approaches, there are two types of approaches. Before going into the subject, I would love to describe what it is actually. So, when a person is stressed, okay, from physically or mentally, if any person is stressed due to any reason, the chemical imbalances happens, the release of the hormones happens from brain to the blood circulation or the renal um, the brain releases, the hypothalamus releases some corticosteroid hormones to defunction or decrease the function of your blood cells, which are majorly white blood cells, all right, the lymphocytes. So today we are going deep into the relaxation exercises, and we should not decrease our lymphocytes. These lymphocytes are the white blood cells that fight against any antigen outside the body which is coming into the body, like infection, any kind of infection. So you are losing your immunity by means of this lymphocytes decrement and when you are stressed. So relaxation exercise help a lot in rebuilding your functionality of the cell. So let us dive into the subject. So there are two types of approaches. One is muscle to mind and another is mind to muscle, which means you can control your mind from physical to emotion, mental, and from mental to physical. So these are the two approaches: breathing exercise, progressive relaxation techniques by means of muscle, and mind to muscle imaging, visualization, and photogenic. All right. So indications: who are prone to this actually? Anger management and anxiety attacks, depression, and insomnia, headache, stress, nightmare. All these are emotional stuff. All right, but the cardiac health, childbirth, and general well-being, immune system, pain management, addiction treatment. All these are physical stuff. So you can divide like two mental and physical indications to follow. The contraindications. Who cannot do this? 5 years of age group people cannot do this because they don't understand. Below 5 years also can be, the breathing pattern or the things can be reversed or something like that. So pleural effusions, if lungs has any kind of fluid filled with it, if it is going to expand by means of breathing exercise, we wouldn't do that. And open wounds based on positioning, typical psychological problems. I'm not saying all psychological problems, but typical, critical, like schizophrenia, those attention, or they cannot attentively sit and do the breathing exercise patterns. All right, all these are like epilepsy, compulsive disorders, flaccid musculature. Also, if the muscle is more weakened, it can also uh, decrease the impact of relaxation. So all these are in the body. Mentally or physically contradicted to do because they are not meant to do just like that. And any spreading infections also may increase the spreading because you are doing after the infection has got into the body and already your immune system is low. But if you are relaxation exercise actually expands or improves the function of the cells. So if the cell is already infected, it may spread whole into the body. So you need to be careful when you're choosing some of the positions. So coming to interventions, all these interventions are there passively and formally, like you can do by yourself. Autogenic biofeedback by means of electronic tools, deep breathing, guided imagery, and meditation, pranayama, hypnosis, all these things, by nature they do regularly. Yoga, Zen yoga, yoga nidra, all these things are there. But clinically, exclusively, as I have been telling you always, exercise can be a treatment, right? So this matters, like autogenic training, biofeedback, deep breathing, guided imaginary. We are discussing today exclusively these things alone. All right. Okay, coming to autogenic training. Autogenic training is nothing but concentrating on your own verbal system, and you are concentrating passively by yourself, and there is no external force. That is the principles of autogenic training. That is different from autogenic inhibition, NP and F technique. All right, don't get confused with that. So now autogenic training, one of the pattern by the scientist Skulls, he has discovered this thing. So as I always tell you, listen to me first and then read the scripture out there later. All right, the sentences later. So let's save some time here. So he said you have to lie down first, completely relaxed, and then feel the heaviness of the body completely overall. And then you need to concentrate on your temperature. After that, you would concentrate on your heart rate and then the breathing pattern, and then you are going to cool your forehead. So, this is how, all right, it works here. Heaviness, and then focuses on feeling warm of the body and cardiac activity, and then passive concentration on respiratory mechanism and feeling warmth on the abdominal region again, and then the coolness of forehead. So this is how he has explained his kind of relaxation autogenic training. So biofeedback, coming to biofeedback, what is biofeedback? Biofeedback, which means your biological changes or physiological changes can be given as a feedback by means of electrical machinery. So this is how it shows here the definition. Biofeedback is the process of gaining greater awareness of many physiological functions of one's own body by means of using electronic and other instruments to manipulate the body systems at will. Because, for example, I'll give you a better example here. So these are the processes which can be used by the biofeedback: brain waves, muscle tone, skin conductance, heart rate, and pain perception. Alright. So this is an example here. If a person is sitting here, these are positive and negative electrodes, and this is neutral electrode, and this is EMG, which means muscle electromagnetic electromagnetic waves. Here you can see here and the changes. It can also give you audio feedback, the beep sounds when you are sitting in improper posture or incorrected posture, then it will correct you by giving audio, and by means of some frequency of waves here can show you visually. You can see and then see yourself that you are not in a correct posture. This is how you reduce your pain by relaxing the muscle. All right. This is how you do the biofeedback: audio, by visual, or by audio. And indications: who else can do this biofeedback? This is helpful as we see in the extradermal, cardiovascular, musculoskeletal pain. Majorly it is used for pain relief, guys, and tension, headache, even the stress reduction. This is very important thing that you should notice. Financial decision making. You know, the traders or the forex traders or the any other kind of traders use this biofeedback machine in order to suppress their emotions when they trade something. You know, this actually caught my eye. And then urinary incontinence, fecal. So you know, if some children are continuously peeing in the bed over the years, then you should definitely go for biofeedback. All these things are useful for biofeedback applications. Now comes to stress management, as I told you. So when immune cells, the main types of immune cells are white blood cells. When we are stressed, it fight off the antigens is reduced and then more susceptible to infections. The stress hormone corticosteroid can suppress the effectiveness of immune system, which means lowers the number of lymphocytes. So this is the chart here: psychological stresses, physical stresses, and it goes to hypothalamus pituitary gland, it goes to sympathetic, adreno medullary axis in the brain. So these are the parts of the brain, and then mediators would be there like adrenaline, or epinephrine is released by kidneys, guys. So like that you have some mediators to release all the other systems. Reproductive system also can be shut down by your stress levels. This is the major reason for even the women to get the pregnancy. So if their stress level is so high, they can't even get the pregnancy, guys. So digestion, this is why you have constipation. Majorly, all the problem starts from stress. So these are the things. Cellular excitability, neuronal plasticity, when your brain doesn't work properly. So all the things will happen in the stress. So how do you manage that? So there are some tips over here. This is not a clinical practice, but there are some tips. Support system, laughing, taking time for you, meditation, support system, positive attitude, and exercise. Exercise is what we are discussing here. So deep breathing exercise. What is diaphragmatic breathing for stress management? How does it work? It's nothing but sitting straight, keeping one hand over your chest, one hand over your abdomen, and taking air in and feeling that air through the passages like chest and then abdomen. So when you are taking deep breath and your abdomen falls in and you feel that with your hand, that's why you hold that breath or air inside by means of diaphragm muscle. Diaphragm is a dome shaped muscle here which separates thoracic cavity and the digestion system. So actually, diaphragm stays here, it separates the thoracic cavity and the digestion system here. So when you take deep breath in, diaphragm goes down and inwards, and then you expand your chest cavity by means of that. So this is for your notes again. You have to read it slowly for getting more knowledge. So deep breathing exercises are many types, not only diaphragmatic breathing. Circular breathing is nothing but you are taking in so I would show you in the picture alone. Circular breathing, Buteyko method, shallow breathing, and Iceman breathing. All right. So I would show you in this picture here. Circular breathing is nothing but you are breathing without interruption slowly. All right. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That is circular breathing. So what is the Buteyko method? He takes in the breath, holds there in the nostril, and again in the chest cavity, again in the lungs. He holds it in every passage. He holds in the diaphragm. So in every passage, he holds and makes that air to flow in for some time to changes to happen in the body. So that is Buteyko method of breathing. Shallow breathing is chest expansion by means of intercostal muscles, which means the muscles surrounding the ribs. So you are actually expanding the chest, all right, expanding the chest. So that is called as chest expansion exercises or the shallow exercises. Shallow breathing, which means you are inhaling so deep and you are increasing the ventilating room inside of your thoracic cavity. So types of ventilation is something like this, which is very important for physios to remember. So Iceman technique is nothing but Wim Hof is a person who got into Guinness World Records because he was swimming under ice, all right, and with barefoot half marathon on ice. This may even change your temperature system of your body. It may regulate your temperature inside the body. So far we have discussed all these things, guys. So now we see what is progressive relaxation technique or Jacobson relaxation technique. Edmund Jacobson in 1920s, he introduced this kind of breathing pattern would help all over the body of the muscle pain or something like that. So physios out there, don't get panicked by Jacobson. What is Jacobson relaxation technique? It's so damn simple, easy to remember also. So here a person has to lay down and right from the toes to head. It is a process. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, something like that. All right. So you need to start from toes. You need to contract the toes very well and then release them. After that, again come to the sole of the foot, again compress, contract, release, again contract, release. So whenever you're contracting, you need to hold your breath. Whenever you're releasing, release your breath. That is it, guys. So Jacobson relaxation technique is nothing but this whole thing. You have to read it very slowly, otherwise you won't understand for your notes. So you had to listen to me again for clear explanation. All right. Coming to visualization, guys, so far we have seen autogenic training and what biofeedback, and then we have seen progressive muscle relaxation techniques and stress management, and how to increase the immunity by doing all these breathing exercises. We have seen a couple of breathing patterns, so many breathing patterns. We have seen exercises, we have seen relaxation exercises. So all these are clinically mentioned for us to do. From mind to body, how do you do it? Visualization is a process where you sit and close your eyes and visualize the colors, different colors like sky blue, the beach, or something which will give you a number of different colors, and which gives you peace. All right, the mind. So you have to visualize something like this so that you may get some relaxation. This is kind of visualization technique for relaxing your body. So muscle energy technique is kind of progressive relaxation technique, but it's not. It is a PNF technique, which means exclusively for clinical purpose. So you wantedly what you do is you give impulse to the Golgi tendon organ structure which lies inside the tendon, muscle spindle which lies inside the muscle. Actually, muscle energy technique is muscle uses its own energy to provide relaxation to itself. So that is the whole idea here. So when you stretch the muscle, it gives information to the center here. This is the structure of spinal cord. If there is a spinal cord like this straight, if you cut into horizontal way, then you can see a horizontal plane. So in order to understand axis and planes, you need to go to my video axis and planes in episode 3. Then you would understand what plane it is in. All right. So muscle spindle causes reflex contraction, but inhibitory neuron causes reflex inhibition by means of Golgi tendon and muscle tendon complex. Right. So I have given you the definition here is a form of manual therapy which uses muscles' own energy in the form of gentle isometric contractions to release the muscle. So you are contracting the muscle gently to relax the muscles by itself, alright? So these are the indications. What are the indications for the muscle to work by itself is muscle spasticity, muscle tightness, muscle problem. So hypertonic, the tone in the muscle and fascia when it is increased, joints when, so here no emotional stuff, no mental stuff here, but only the musculoskeletal system is included. All right, all the musculoskeletal system dysfunctions are the indications for doing MET. So what is autogenic inhibition? I told you this is just for your notes again. So Golgi tendon organ, it takes the stimulus and then it gives the reception here apparent, and then the relaxation of muscle. So this is how you do 3 seconds contract, 3 seconds contract, and then relax it to 5 to 10 seconds or 10 to 30 seconds. So again, reciprocal muscle group, which means opposite group of muscles you are doing. All right, that's how you contract one muscle in order to inhibit the other muscle, which means relaxation. All right, you're contracting biceps so that the triceps is relaxed. That's the whole idea of MET. So, what are the other relaxation techniques that we have is generally walking, which a lot of people avoid or they don't do, but it is very good thing to do every day, walking for at least 45 minutes. Gardening, yoga, tai chi, qigong, massage. So these are clinical, guys. Again, myotherapy is the damn great subject you need to learn, especially the physios out there. So myotherapy and reflexology, self-regulation, all these methods, new age music, classical music, floating therapy. All these are other relaxation techniques where you can use with. So what is muscle fatigue and relaxation relation to them? When the muscle is fatigued, okay, it cannot stretch properly, which means it cannot give the impulses to the brain properly, and then it won't relax properly. That is it. It's very simple to say. So I would leave the link down there for deep knowledge of muscle fatigue and relaxation, for deep chemical changes and knowledge of physiology inside the muscle. All right, so the fatigued synapse fibers displayed a reduced rate of sarcoplasmic reticulum calcium uptake and increased sarcoplasmic reticulum calcium leak. So that happens when your muscle is fatigued. So guys, you need to understand something here, that which is very important. Stress is an external force kind of thing, which can improve your infections, which can spread your infections, which can lower your immunity, which can degrade or decrease your muscle tone. So stress is really a bad thing to have or to accompany with. So we need to have relaxation exercises, at least one simple relaxation exercises for whole day eventually would also build our immune system. All right, so thank you so much again guys for giving this wonderful opportunity for me, and coming here again and again to learn more new things about exercise for your lifetime. So thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.